Years ago, I shot 10 bags of heroin every day. Heroin is a beast, and that beast has infiltrated every town and city in America. In 2016, 64,000 Americans died of an accidental overdose of opioids. I hope that the stories we bring you on this show save lives in 2018. I'm Richie Farrell. I'm a heroin addict.
I am a heroin addict. My name's Jasmine, and I am a heroin addict. For those of you that follow us and have been following us, it's been about a month since we've been with you guys, and I've missed you, so I'm happy to be back. And if it's your first time watching, welcome. We like to have a lot of fun here on the show, I think.
A little bit.
For those of you that don't know, her name's Maureen. I'm going to call her Mo. For those of you that don't know Mo, Mo is the co-host here, and we have a really awesome in-studio guest, Bobby. And so I'm really grateful that you guys are all here with us, and I'm excited for today's show because I've really missed it, and it'll be really good to get back in the swing of things here. So Mo, for those viewers that are watching that don't know you, why don't you let the viewers know a little bit about you so they know you're the real deal?
All right, well, I'm Maureen. You know, I've been sober for about 1.5 years now. What else do you want me to tell?
Talk about your drug of choice.
I'm a heroin addict. I mean, I'm a heroin addict. I'm a crackhead. I'm an alcoholic. You name it, I do it. You know, like, it took me a long time to want to get clean and sober. And, you know, I've hit every low. You know, homelessness. I've lost every job I've ever had. Crashed a lot of cars, I think it comes along with the territory. But, you know, I've disappointed every family member and lost everything. And, you know, the last time that I used it was just, it was time. And I was ready. So.
That's a valid point. You were ready.
Yeah.
So, to the viewers watching, thank you for watching. And so, I'm the host of the show, so I get to, like, I have the opportunity to, like, create these shows and draw in these guests. And something really cool about tonight's show is that Mo, Bobby, and myself, we've been around for a while, but we didn't stay clean.
No.
We didn't. And I'm really, really, really grateful that all of our lives were spared and we had an opportunity to come back. And for some reason, when we came back on fire. And we came back and we're ready to do this. And the three of us are definitely, like, completely and fully immersed in helping others recover from this thing. And actually, I think the three of us witnessed one another relapse at separate times.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds right about
I know
right.
that I watched both of you come and go, and I know that
I watch you.
Yeah.
I watch you.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah, that came to me right as we were sitting here.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bobby, a little bit about yourself. So what I'd like to know, first of all, is, like, I want to definitely know, like, about, like, drinking and like, your drugging career.
Okay.
But I want to know about life, like, before you ever picked up.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm from Fairfield County, Connecticut. If anybody knows anything about Fairfield County, Connecticut, it's either super rich or super poor, and I come from the richer part.
Okay.
Right. So, like, I grew up on a cul-de-sac.
You were the kid I grew up hating.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way.
No,
Yeah.
completely. And, like, that's okay. Like, I'm okay with it because for a long time I wasn't okay with that.
Yeah.
I wanted to be bigger, badder, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't okay with where I came from, right? I had a backyard. I had a golden retriever.
Oh,
Right?
Of course
So,
you did.
like, literally picturesque American family. You know what I mean? Like, my dad was a lawyer. My mom was an office manager. Right? So, like, literally on the outside, my life looked amazing. Like, had everything that I could have ever wanted. You know, I never had to worry about, like, oh, are the bills going to get paid today? Like, that wasn't a thing. It just wasn't, and that's not part of my story. But, like, what was part of my life was I never felt good enough.
Okay.
Right? Like, I never felt like I belonged. I never felt like I was, like, totally in on the jokes. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel okay. Right? So, like, I had this, like, sense of unease, and I threw myself into things that took me out of me. Right? So, like, I've been playing football since I was 8. Right? I played from 8 to 18. And that was a time where I didn't have to think about anything. like literally anything. I just thought about what I'm doing in that exact moment, right? Because like that's all I was searching for my entire life. I just wanted to shut off my brain, right? And what happened was when I was 12, my dad fell off the lawnmower, cut open his leg. I saw the bone, the muscle, the tendon. I had to wrap it up. I was the only one home. I had to call 911. Like he was like passing out, right? And like I was 12, right? I don't know how things work. I don't know what's going on. I assume my dad's gonna die. I don't know how to deal with that. And like this thought popped in my head, and like I assume it pops into a lot of people's head. Like, what do you think when you have a bad day? Let me have a drink.
Yeah, of course.
Right? You see it all the time on TV and movies. My dad would come home after a long day. Oh, I need a beer. Right? So I had a beer out of the fridge. And then I had another. And then I had another. Yep.
Okay.
And my sister had her wisdom teeth removed. And she didn't take the Perk 5s. So I ate a bunch of those.
That's the big Perk 5s.
Oh, yeah, the Tylenols, you know, like that good stuff.
325.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt okay. I finally felt okay. And like I had this connection in my head of like, okay, if I don't want to deal with something I'm dealing with, or if I don't want to feel something I'm feeling, drugs and alcohol take that away, and it shuts off my head.
So you were 12.
Yep.
And so you went on to play football for 6 more years.
Yep.
Did your substance abuse disorder like get progressive during that 6 years, or?
Yeah. So what would happen was during the season, I would just stick with like smoking weed. Okay. I wouldn't drink as much, but I would smoke a shit ton. Right? So like, and then as soon as that was done, I'm off to the races. Right? So in the beginning, I had this like illusion of control. You know what I mean? Oh, I can hold back. I don't have to get fucked up every day. Right? And then slowly it became like, well, I could do it on like Fridays, because Fridays don't count.
So when did you realize you had like a problem? Like where was like?
Honestly, the first time I got high. Because literally something in my head said, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Like, I didn't recognize it as a problem, but even at that age, I recognized it as this is my solution to everything in my life.
So at 12 years old, you were like, all right, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And so the viewers know, because you are a very well put together, like you're put together very well, you present very well. How old are you?
I am 23, going to turn 24 on August 10th.
And how old were you when you got sober?
I was 21. So this isn't the first time in sobriety for me.
Okay.
Like you touched upon that. And like that was a big thing that held me back my first time getting sober. I'm 21. You know, you get all those ideas like I never tried to control it. I didn't try just socially drinking. I didn't try just doing coke on the weekends.
That's so common.
You know, like that wasn't my thing.
I just think it's so great because, like, if anyone's watching or anyone's suffering, or if anyone has a family member that's suffering and they're young and they're like, well, they're young, like, you know, they don't have, like, look at you. You're 23 years old and, like, you're thriving and excelling in life. And, like, not only, like, in your career are you thriving and excelling and, like, doing really awesome things, but, like, in your personal life, like, you go out of your way to help people every day and, like, your soul's alive and your spirit's alive and you have passion and purpose. And I know that, like, people can't really get that through a 30-minute show watching you through, you know what I mean, like the internet, but like I know you personally.
No, and that's the thing, right? So like one of the greatest things my family ever gave to me was not taking my shit when I got older, right? Like wasn't like it's just a phase. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get that cosign. You know what I mean? I didn't get that cosign of like maybe he'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be different. Maybe because like by the time I got sober, by the time I first went to treatment, I was 140 pounds. I had hair down to my shoulders.
Pictures prove it.
Yeah, no, I can pull them up if I need to. I thought I was a gangster. I had gold teeth.
Oh God. Please send a picture.
Just so everybody knows, Bobby and I both used to actually have grills, and we posted the pictures on Facebook. So
that's amazing.
You gotta rock it, right? Because like
that's amazing.
It was just I was a very confused person at the time. You know what I mean?
Clearly, and I can identify.
But like,
I can't.
It was crazy. Like my life went from being picturesque to being, I'm staying in a trap house in Bridgeport. And I'm like doing things that by no right I should ever do, and I'm hanging out with people that by no right I should be hanging out with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, deep down, I'm not that kid that I was trying to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was so concerned with fitting in and finding somebody that would accept me that I went with whoever would do that. And I did whatever I had to do. You know what I mean? And it was just, it was a really, really bad point in my life. It was a really, really low point the first time I went and got treatment. And there was only one other person I knew that was sober when I went into treatment, and he actually is the person that got me high the first time on heroin.
Look at that, full circle.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I ended up here.
Is that
and doing
person
this.
still sober today?
He is. He is 3 years sober, and he's about to have a kid.
That's awesome.
Yep, he's about to have his a son.
Okay. All right. Well, so for anyone watching, we encourage you guys to send in questions. Anyone can ask a question, anything. Don't worry about what it is. We like to be surprised. We like to be, you know what I mean? Like, we want to answer honestly. And we had a question come in. And so, Mo, do you want to read the question?
Do you think addiction is a disease?
Oh man, I see Facebook fights for days.
It drives
over
me
this.
insane. You want to go first?
No, you. This is your show.
yeah,
Take
it's
it
all
away,
right.
boss.
All right. So,
Yeah.
do I believe addiction is a disease? 100%. 100%. Because if it wasn't a disease, if it was just I made one wrong choice and I got physically addicted to this thing, then after I got removed, I should be 100% fine. Right? And it's not that. It's the obsessive compulsive thinking behind it. It's the fact that my mind can't shut off. It's everything else in my life that I just use a certain substance to escape from.
Right, and so I'm going to give my opinion now. First of all, to me, it doesn't matter if addiction is or is not a disease. It doesn't matter to me. Like, people are dying of this thing, and there is help out there. And instead of wasting my time sitting on Facebook arguing for days on end, like, why don't I get out and help someone and do something about it? However, this is my show, and I'm entitled to give my opinions, and I'm going to do that. I believe addiction is a disease. And I know that there are a lot of people that are going to rebuttal that, and they're going to tell me, you know what I mean, like, addiction is now considered a disorder. It's not actually called a disease anymore, and blah, 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 blah. Well, unless you've actually suffered from something and can identify with a threefold disease, and when you're actually getting high against your own choice and your own will, and you're sitting in a corner crying because you actually don't want to be that way and you can't stop, and then the moment that you stop, you're finding anything to make yourself feel okay, the mental obsession, and being so uncomfortable in your own skin when you're sober. And you have no control over that, and that's just truly who you are. I don't get a choice over that. I didn't choose to be that way.
No, nobody
You know?
nobody chooses to steal from their family.
No.
Yeah.
You know, nobody chooses to make their mother cry every day. You know, make their dad wait up every night because he thinks you're either dead or in prison. You know, because I don't talk to him because I'm too ashamed. You know what I mean? And like the whole thing that really bothers me. This is the only part of it that bothers me. I really don't like getting into Facebook fights. I really try to stay out of it. Like, it's just
so hard not to.
just because, like, what is that really gonna do?
Right.
If I come at you aggressively, is it really gonna change your mind? No. My only issue with it is, if you see it as a willpower thing, then what is that person that's suffering from that gonna think about when he asks for help or she asks for help?
Right, like that their willpower is just so low that that's the reason for it all, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, do you want to tell somebody that, like, is suffering from this and very well might die? Because let's be real, I've had 4 deaths last week.
I was going to say Facebook's full of RIPs today.
Yeah. You know, like, it's gotten to the point where it doesn't even faze me anymore. But
Sad.
if you have a disease, it's 100% okay in our society to get help for it.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not a matter, like, you're not going to berate a cancer patient for getting chemo. Right? So why would you berate somebody with addiction for going to treatment and asking for help? Instead of saying to that person, like, oh, you just need to toughen up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a matter of being tough. I've been tough in a lot of other areas of my life. You know, I've accomplished a lot of things in my life. This is one thing I could not do alone. There was no way, and I tried every single way. I tried taking Suboxone. I tried just drinking.
Suboxone, we love Suboxone on this show.
Yeah, literally anything. I tried literally everything and anything to not have the consequences.
Hey, you brought the topic up.
Yeah.
It just happened organically. So so share on your experience with them. First of all, I love everyone and I love all individuals, and I would never shame anyone for being on MAT, and I would extend my hand and I would help them. But overall, my opinion on MAT is it sucks. It puts a Band-Aid over the problem, and furthermore, in my experience, it didn't even put a Band-Aid over it. But I would like for you to share.
Yeah, so I got on Suboxone for a while. Originally because it was like, all right, I need this at this point, right? Like, I need opiates. I'm getting sick without them. I can't function, right? And I literally can't imagine my life without a substance in me, right? And like, obviously, every time I've tried to quit, it doesn't work. So I tried it, worked for like 3 days, and then I ended up selling it.
Yeah.
There was no, like, it
Sounds
literally,
about right.
and honestly, what it was a repeating cycle, because I would do that for a couple days, and then finally it wasn't enough. I'd wait for it to get out of my system, do more heroin, feel bad about it, then go back. You know, and the thing is, though, like, not even just Suboxone. I have a lot of friends back home that are still on methadone.
Where is the assistance?
Right?
Where is the assistance in it?
No,
There's not. It's just giving out a drug.
The typical methadone plan is a 10-year-long plan.
That's crazy.
10 years? Are you kidding me? Do you know
crazy.
what it does to your body over 10 years?
Yeah, it gets in your bone marrow. It's So here's a prime example of why I don't agree with methadone. Right? I had a friend. He's 2 years younger than me. About a year ago, he went on methadone, right? He is now at 180 milligrams a day.
Holy crap.
So he's rocked.
Yeah,
There's
he's rocked.
You're A, not functioning, and B, I feel like to take you down, it's like, what, 5 milligrams?
I don't even know.
It's something
anymore.
extremely small every month.
Yeah, you have to take, it's like 5 or 10 milligrams a month you take down.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And
So to go from 180 to 0, that's going to take a long time when he used like I did, and he doesn't need to be on 180.
Yeah, also, when I was on Suboxone, I never found myself. I was still caught in all those like negative behaviors.
Still doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. And my experience
Agreed.
was like yours. Like I was prescribed Suboxone 24 milligrams for 3 years. Never got drug tested once. Don't even think I took my Suboxone 7 times during that. Like I showed up with a good insurance, got the script. You know what I mean? Like all the people behind the scenes got their money, and I used it as a way for me to continue getting high for a very long time. As a matter of fact, Suboxone was so successful for me that I got arrested by the DEA while being prescribed for Suboxone for sales of narcotics.
yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Like
Sounds about right.
it didn't, and you know, and I'm not saying that like doctors have like bad motives and they're in it to make money, because I genuinely feel that like a lot of providers do want to help.
No.
But what I'm here to say is there are other ways. And you know what? I might be dead if I wasn't on Suboxone for whenever you know what I mean, the times that I took it. I might be dead. So who am I to say? But I'm just saying, like, there's other help out there. This stuff is being forced down people's. It's like the main treatment thing that they focus on. I work in treatment. We have clients clean for 60 days, and insurance is calling, let's get them on MAT. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
They've been sober for 60 days. Why are we going to get them physically dependent on something? Why?
And that's the way it's going. And then, so, all right, I want your opinion now, though. Do you consider Vivitrol MAT?
So my opinion on Vivitrol is not the solution.
Agreed.
No, I would agree too. But would you say it's a good safety net in the first month or so?
I would. Oh God! All right. So here's where I'm at. Right. So if you're on Vivitrol, cool. Like, good for you.
No.
Hell yeah! It's a lot of money, and statistically, it doesn't really work. But if you want to do that, because you know, I know a lot of people on Vivitrol, they're still out smoking crack, they're still doing coke, and they're getting high other ways. But you know what? If you're a heroin addict or an alcoholic, and like you need something like that for now, do it. I personally, I'm not going to waste my money on that. It's really expensive. People are getting rich off you when there's other ways to do it.
Okay.
I'm not against Vivitrol, though. I have sponsees on Vivitrol and like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I love you, and like that's cool, and that's what you need for now, and it's a great safety net.
It's not getting high. So
Right,
like that's I
exactly.
agree with it in that point, like where it's a blocker, and that's awesome and everything, but like it almost gives people an excuse to not do anything else, to not have a solution to their life.
Okay. Because
Bobby's got a rebuttal.
No, because
I know.
my personal belief, right? So I was never on Vivitrol, right?
Me either.
I won't act like I was.
Me neither.
But I do think if you're in a healthy environment, right, that's conducive to working a program.
Helping you find other life coping skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
If you're just doing Vivitrol and that's all you're doing, then like I said, like you said, it's a Band-Aid.
Right.
You know, it's a temporary thing, and like let's be honest, people know everything about it now.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been around long enough. But if you use it in conjunction with a program, working a solid program, you know, having a sponsor, having all that, you know, working whatever fellowship you choose to work, because I don't care what you get sober in.
I don't
as long
even
as-
care if you like. I'm a 12-step girl, but like different things work for different
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
I don't know.
No, we don't have a monopoly.
Yeah.
You know.
Or an opinion on outside issues.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I think in conjunction with that, it's a good thing. And it also, if somebody's really hung up, because I've talked to people and they're really hung up on this idea of MAT. They want MAT. They want MAT. They want MAT. If you brand this as MAT, then it's getting them thinking.
Yeah.
And it's getting them thinking that, like, okay, I can live my life without a substance.
I'm certainly
know?
not against Vivitrol.
No.
So
Yeah.
the show is flying by. By the way, we have 6 minutes left.
Seriously?
6 minutes.
Are you serious?
How did that even happen? How did that happen? I don't know. So we have 6 minutes left and we have a question. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mo. Sorry. I just wanted us to get this last question answered.
I didn't say it. What?
Okay. You were saying something and I cut you off.
I don't remember what I was going to say, so.
All right, so we got a question. You want to read it?
What can we do to end the stigma?
Who wants to take it?
I'm not going to take that
I'm
one.
not going to take the stigma.
You got that.
Oh, that's a hard no.
Yeah.
So to end the stigma, right?
Bobby's got a whole plan over here.
No, it's not even
He's like,
I'm a cop and I talk with my hands. It's forced to habit, right? So the stigma is, right, like we walk down the street today. People think we're productive members of society, which we are.
yeah.
You know, I've seen what you do and I've seen what you do, and you're all about helping people and doing the next right thing, right? Why are we looked at any different than when we were suffering?
Because what we're doing.
Yeah, but why are we not seen as a sick person, but as, you know,
Because we contribute to
scumbag?
life now.
Yeah.
And we're not robbing and stealing. And
So
We're
at that
criminals
moment of time,
mostly.
though, when we were sick, we had potential,
of course.
course.
right? So why do we not see the potential in the other people suffering?
Speak for yourself because I do.
I do.
Yeah.
But general society?
Yeah.
Oh,
What does
Society
general
doesn't,
society say?
Yeah, absolutely. They're not worth it. I personally think that right here, right now, what we're doing is a way to help end the stigma.
100%.
Like we're out here saying you can recover, you are worth it, and like you know what I mean. Like I lead a very good life today.
Yeah.
You guys do too.
Agreed.
Yeah, you know. If anyone saw us, they wouldn't think that we're recovered heroin addicts. I was homeless, living in the streets less than 2 years ago. Like literally
Yeah.
living in the streets, not crashing on people's couches. Like didn't have a roof over my head.
Yeah.
You know? So I think we're doing it. I encourage more people to speak out. We have a Facebook page. I encourage people to send in their stories. Send your
Yeah.
stories in. We post them. You know what I mean? You want to be guest on the show? Hit me up. Like everyone has a story to tell. Everyone. And everyone's life is worth it. Everyone's.
Yeah.
100%.
No one is
Absolutely.
indispensable. We have a statement. Bobby, read it. Take it away.
Statement. Service to others is key.
True.
Yes, 100%. Before I got sober, I was only looking out for myself. And my life was going nowhere. Honestly, I was 21 with no discernible job skills. I failed out of 2 colleges. I barely got a high school diploma. I don't know how I got it, because I stopped going to school. Right? And like, literally all I did was take from society.
Correct.
Everybody. Didn't matter who. It didn't matter if you didn't even know me, because I took everything in your car at night. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah, if you lived in his neighborhood, he's the guy.
I'm sorry.
So-
I'm sorry. You can write me a letter.
We have 3 minutes left. But this is great. We're getting bombarded with questions. Keep it up. How do you feel about 12 steps?
Fucking saved my life.
There we go. For me, that is the way.
Me too.
for me. And it was the only way that worked for me.
I've tried everything else.
I know.
There was this was the last thing. That wasn't the first thing I tried.
'Cause
And
it's- yeah.
it wasn't. It doesn't sound like fun. You know what I mean?
You just got to change everything about yourself.
Yeah,
man.
just everything, and like then you have to go help other people after.
And you have to be really uncomfortable and you have to sacrifice all your time, but we swear it's worth it.
Honestly, though, it is though.
It really
You-
is.
I know,
you
it's
like
crazy.
the feeling like when you told me 2 years ago, like you're gonna spend all this time helping people. I'm like, that sounds not the best. Like in the nicest way possible. But like now, this is what I want to do.
Right.
I want to help people.
Don't want to do anything else.
No.
And that's why I chose my profession,
Right.
because like I want to make a life out of helping others.
Impact the world.
Right.
That's a really powerful thing that we get to do. Like we get to do that. We get to make a difference in people's lives, and then those people get to go out and make a difference in other people's lives. And like, you know what I mean? It might seem so minuscule, like on what we're
But
doing,
on a like
but it
bigger
just
like scheme of life, it like changes everything for like future families and future like endeavors with other people.
right. Ashley, great question. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
That was a
Yeah.
great one.
You're looking at 3 12-steppers here. So yeah. So Bobby,
Yep.
we got a minute and 40 seconds left.
Okay.
Someone that's watching and someone that is like pretty much hopeless, what do you want to say to them?
I know what it's like. I've been there. I know how it feels to literally think you could either A, only live doing a substance for the rest of your life, or B, it's probably just easier to die. I've had that feeling. It's not something you should have to go through, or not something you have to sit in. There's help out there. There's people just like you that have gotten better, that have made lives, that have been in 2 years somewhere they never dreamed possible. 5 years somewhere they never dreamed possible. You know, anywhere, and all it takes is that first reach out for help. Somebody that you trust, somebody that you know that maybe has gotten sober. Anybody, just reach out for help and somebody will have their hand out.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
I literally had someone reach out for help on my ride here, and like I'm gonna get them to detox tonight.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, we'll talk after.
Yeah.
But, so if you're watching, your life is worth it. You're valued. I love you. Bobby loves you. Mo loves you. If you
Love you
feel
a
like
lot.
you can't do this on your own, reach out to one of us. All of our names are on the screens. We all got Facebook.
No.
Hit us up.
Absolutely.
This is what our
Yeah.
life is about now. It's about helping other people.
That's what we do.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's been a really good show.
Yeah.
Very grateful to be back. Thank you guys for watching to make this possible. I'd like to thank Bobby for coming on,
No problem. I really enjoyed it. Anytime you guys need me.
and my wonderful, beautiful co-host Mo. Thank you. Hi, welcome to I'm a Heroin Addict. My name's Jasmine, and I'm a heroin addict. I am really fired up from our last show. That was a good show. Yeah, not that I'm not always full of energy, but I'm certainly feeling really alive right now. And I have this earpiece in, and it keeps almost falling out, so it's gonna continue to happen too, I'm pretty sure. So if you're just tuning in, my name's Jasmine. I'm a heroin addict, and we do these shows. We try and do them twice a month. We just went about a month without a show due to some confusion in the scheduling. But we're happy to be here, happy to be back. Our beautiful co-host Maureen is here. I call her Mo. Say hi, Mo.
Hi.
So we have a really good show in store for you. We have a friend that's joining us all the way from Florida. And I'm really excited to have James on the show because I actually haven't seen James in about a year now. We do communicate through Facebook, and he lets me know how awesome he's doing. And so it's really cool when you're in recovery, you tend to build these really special bonds with people. And the way that life has it is people come, people go, and so on and so forth. And so when you see people fall off, but then you see them get back on the recovery bandwagon, and you see them doing really well, it's awesome. So I have seen James through some really tough times. Actually, the first time, James, are you with us?
I'm with you.
The first time I met James, he was wearing a tie-dyed shirt that said "Get Weird."
I remember that shirt.
Yeah. Is that true, James?
That's 100% accurate.
I wish that you wore that shirt tonight to the show.
I actually have it still.
Can you mail it to Maureen and I?
Yeah, I'll mail it with a signature on it.
Fantastic. So James, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I grew up all over New England, kind of a mutt of the northern states. I had a daughter when I was 15. I been working on lobster boats since I was 14, roughly. I started smoking weed when I was 12 years old, and I started drinking. Then I turned 17, 18, and I started doing coke, and everything progressed. And then I found opiates, and that was pretty much all she wrote after that.
Tell me about your childhood growing up.
My childhood growing up was fairly decent. I have one older sibling. She'll be 32 in August, and she's actively using right now, unfortunately. And my mother and father got divorced when I was 6. My mother got sole custody of me and my sister. Me and my sister spent every other weekend in Connecticut with my father. Me and my sister grew up pretty close together. She went through a lot of shit. I went through a lot of stuff, and I didn't struggle that much. I mean, I was loved unconditionally as much as a single mother could, and I believe that I was born with my disease and everything.
Okay, so right off the bat, he's calling it a disease. All right, there we go. All right, cool. There's a lot of debate these days whether it's a disease or not, so sorry, I was rude and interrupted you.
No, that's fine.
Keep going with it.
So, I like debates. we want to talk about, debates, and, it's cool when you have a debate, and then there's one opinion, and then there's another opinion. But
James, we lost you. James? There we go. What happens with the debate?
I will try to be a statue.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So with the debate, you have an opinion of one side and then another opinion. But it gets even better when the people on one side, their opinions are strictly from a fact.
We can't hear you. I don't know what's going on with your headset, but we can't hear you. Strictly from a... Here you go. Unplug your headset. All right, now talk to us.
Can you hear me better?
I can hear you. I can also hear myself, so this is going to be good. Okay. So what happens in a debate? No. What happens in a debate?
to talk.
All right.